What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Chippers Play Crash Team Racing Part 10. We are going to begin the last of the Gym Cups, and then I will go on to those two other tracks in Stone Valley. This being the Yellow Gym Cup, this will be the longest and most difficult Gym Cups there is. You know, the tracks are going to be some of the longest tracks out of all the tracks in the game. Except for this track. This is the only small track out of all of the yellow out of all the yellow CTR tokens. But everything else, you know, Tiny Arena is long, Hot Air Skyway is long, Oxide Station is long, so you know, that's why I wanted to end it early last part, because I knew how long it was actually going to take. You know, just because how long all the levels and everything are. Now the thing here is, and thankfully I didn't get it too bad, I was able to knock Pura back pretty quickly, but the thing that you have to worry about here is, just like you have to worry about it normally, is getting bogged down at the start and then losing some time on that long downhill straightaway back there. If you do get jumped at the start by one or more people, you can actually very easily end up falling pretty far behind, and that is something that you have to look out for and pay attention to make sure that doesn't happen. And of course, if you have the Super Boost pads on, that can help you a little bit, not as much as it would on other tracks like Oxide Station or Hot Air Skyway or Tiny Arena for that matter. And just some of the tracks that might help you on that it won't here. But you know, as long as you can get ahead, you shouldn't have any problem with the race itself. The race, you know, pretty easy. And it does look like the 6th and 7th place cars do get swapped around. I wasn't sure if they would, but I guess they do. But it didn't look like Coco actually finished. Or was moved to 5th. Looked like she was moved to 6th. Excuse me. But anyway, now this, you know, pretty easy as long as you watch that inside line. Even on a straightaway, if they take an inside line and you don't, they can overpower you at the start, and especially if you get caught in the mud like that and just miss some of these jumps. I'm missing a lot of these jumps that I really need to be hitting, and I'm letting Pura get too far ahead of me. But the thing here with this track is you just have to make sure that you watch to make sure that you hit all of the jumps correctly. Make sure that you hit you know, try to take the shortest route possible. Make use of that a lot better than what I did. I don't know what's wrong. I can't seem to get the power slide going for whatever. Oh crap! Of course, that was the best time to throw that. Let me try. So this will definitely help gain me a little bit of time. Not a whole lot, but I should at least be able to get past Polar. But that inside line thing again. But he seemed to swing wide once he went around the corner, and that should slow Pura down significantly and allow the rest of the field to catch up to him, which is always good. But he's right back on my tail again. You know, it's really random. Some of the worst turning cars can do good here, and sometimes some of the best turning cars can do good here. If you notice, Pura is taking that tighter line through a lot of the corners. Again, as I explained in Part 9, I don't believe that they can actually take effect of their abilities of what they're good at. But if they do, Pura's definitely using it a lot. Ah, crap. meant to get that mask. If I can hit him over some mud, that would be great. Or just hit him, I guess I'll just take hitting him, but hitting him over some mud would definitely help. And I'm actually surprised that it looks like the good guys may finish in the top 4, and I've never actually had that happen before. I have had 3 good guys finish in the top 3 before, but never 4. So if Coco can get up there, that might just happen. I'll see. Would like to knock Purah back though. If it doesn't happen because Purah got knocked out of the top 4, I will not be too disappointed. Yeah, you just watch Cortex and watch his comeback. He's definitely taking a tighter line than everyone else is, even Purah for that matter. And so he just may be able to either move into second, either he may be able to keep third or second. Depends on what he does through this last few turn sections here. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, you know, not too bad, I don't guess. Looks like the 2 same people, Cortex and Purah, fighting for the top 3 again. But maybe this time I can get Cortex to come in third and hopefully be able to show that off. And another thing that tells you that they are in hard mode, or a harder difficulty, is that they are throwing the TNTs a lot sooner than what they would normally. If they wasn't, Tiny got that TNT blown up over him as he was going over the jump. But yeah, you know, they're if they can, they are getting the TNTs off of themselves quicker, and they are using the speed boost of the power sliding boost more. You can just watch Cortex and see that how much he's using the power slide boost. I think he took the same line that I just took, so that's a potential line I can hit if I want to. Because I would like to knock him back behind Purah so that Purah can maybe either back behind Purah or Engine. I'm not sure yet. I'll actually be surprised if anyone hits that. You do have to be careful because they will throw off a lot of missiles, and if they are this close to you, they will throw quite a few of them. Oh, cool! I actually got hit by that. I wasn't sure if he had made it or not, or made it across or not. Anyway, so now pretty much all it is just Purah and Engine fighting for second until someone hits one of these things I just laid down. Neither of them. Well, Polar hit the Nitro. Wow, and Polar hit the Nitro, the red beaker that I laid down. And with that, Tiny moves back into 7th. So it looks like Purah will be able to get into at least 3rd, maybe 4th. And with that, that should help Cortex's efforts to come into 3rd. Just haven't been paying attention to the other lines that the other characters have been going over that jump. I know most of them will. It's kind of random as well how they will take the shortcut. You know, sometimes most of the field can take the shortcut, and other times it's very rare to, you know, sometimes only one person will take the shortcut. or sometimes no people take the shortcut. And so you just have to pay attention to when and where they take the shortcut. Just and you just pick a line and try to knock somebody off of it. I'm surprised no one hit that. And of course, Engine would get ahead of Dingo right on the last. I guess during that last corner, probably took a tighter line than he did. So it's Per and Engine giving Cortex the most trouble. That's bad. Was hoping to be able to. If Dingo would have came in second, that would have definitely helped the chances of just being able to knock out Pura, and then I could have helped Cortex get in to third a little bit better. But now that I have to deal with Engine, that makes it a lot harder while going through here. And they're all in the top four. Ah, stupid. Shouldn't have did that one. Yeah, let's just see who I can knock out here. Huh, nobody. Well, sometimes that first jump is kind of hard to knock really anybody out. You'd have to start as soon as the really long space jumps start, or that jump right before you go to that really long space jump. That's about the best place to hit anybody. If you just kind of hang it right over the edge of the boost pad, the right side boost pad, you'll usually hit a good line going through there. I never have really tried to go after the the left side boost pad, so I'm not sure how good of a line that is, just because it swings a lot wider than what I normally race while going through here. But this track is no challenge at all. As long as you can get ahead and hit almost every boost pad you see, you shouldn't have any trouble at all. Huh, actually looked like somebody hit it, but they didn't suffer from it. Yeah, just kind of hang it right there, and shouldn't have any trouble at all. Looks okay. So Engine's out of the picture, but Tiny's still going just fine. Nobody hit that yet. Now, if Cortex, I believe all he has to do is finish third, and he should be doing okay. Or finish fourth, and Pura should bypass him. If he falls out of the top four, that would be even better, because I don't think there's anybody outside of Dingo that could pass him, and Dingo, I believe, would have to come in second to. Well, no, I guess he'd have to come in first to match him, and that's not going to happen. But Dingo's pretty far back there anyway, so that's not going to happen either way. Just have to make sure I don't knock out Pura, but if I do, I do. I'm not too concerned with it. He has a good enough lead that Pura does. He has a good enough lead that if it does happen, that he does fall, it won't. It probably won't affect his chances all that bad. I mean, he has such a huge lead over Polar, a very, very huge lead. I've never actually seen an AI driver have such a huge lead. Oh, there goes his lead. I guess he got hit. But I didn't notice him get hit. That's actually surprising. But you saw, he had such a huge lead that when he got hit, he still fell back by 3 points. Okay. Yeah, I guess Dingo could have tied with him if he would have come in second, and I'm not sure. That would have just been probably random who they would have given that second place spot to, or the third place spot. To be honest, I'm not sure. I think it's based on your finishing order, but it may not be. To be honest. Or how many times they finished ahead of that driver, and I'm not 100% sure, but you can see Cortex crying in third. Now we go to crap. wrong side. Now we go to my most favorite gym cup, the purple one. This gym cup has a pretty cool thing with it. Instead of the regular 8 drivers that you see, Crash, Coco, Cortex, Engine, Tiny, Dingo, Polar Pura, you actually race the 4 bosses that you raced previously. All, you know, Ripperoo, Papu Papu, Komodo Joe, and Pinstripe. Oxide isn't in this race, but you do race all the other ones. And this is really fun. I definitely enjoy this one. Not really sure why. There's nothing really different about it. It's just like you're racing the other drivers, because they all they all have their own. They all follow the same lines that the other racers take. So if you know any handful of those lines, you would do okay. Pinstripe usually is the one that falls back the most. I don't know why. He just has the worst time. Crap, I was hoping to lose it. I don't know why he has such a hard time with this particular race, but he does really bad. He always falls back, kind of like Dingo was, I believe, on this same track. But whoa, aha! Now I guess if you get flattened and you hit a TNT, it blows up automatically. But it looks like Papu Papu's staying on the outside, so if I can knock him back enough, he should fall, unless Pinstripe hits it, but Pinstripe's so far back anyway, I don't think it'd really matter. But they definitely are a lot more difficult than the regular racers. They will try a lot harder while going through here, and they can jump you at the start very easily, so you definitely want to be very careful while trying to go through here. Usually, I've only had Pinstripe be on the podium once. It's usually either Ripperoo, Pinstripe, it's usually Ripperoo, Komodo Joe, or Papu Papu who's on the podium, and the points are just like they are, except there's only five racers, so one guy does get left out and doesn't get any points. But that's just the way it goes. Now, this is kind of random. Pinstripe can actually gain quite a bit of time. Here, if a lot of the other racers can get eaten by plants, that definitely helps. But the way that you start these races with the bosses, you will always start first, no matter what position you are in, and Pinstripe gets eaten, of course. You will always start first, no matter which position you finish the previous race in, and the bosses will start in the same positions that they start in normally. Ripperoo will start second, Papu Papu third, Komodo Joe fourth, and Pinstripe fifth, no matter which position they finished in the previous race. And you can see that there are a little knot of cars over there that probably won't really benefit too much from Pinstripe. Pinstripe probably won't benefit from this as much. He'll probably get eaten here pretty soon. Now I'm sitting here laying stuff down in Papu Papu's boss racing line, thinking that's going to actually work. But someone, hey, Papu Papu actually got eaten, so that's something to look out for. Of course, I was gonna say I don't think that will actually affect him too much, and it didn't really. Because Komodo Joe couldn't gain quite as much time on him as he would have normally. But because, of course, but I guess because all the other bosses are having so much trouble, I'm not really sure who's going to finish where, to be totally honest. Wow, Pinstripe, you just can't catch a break, can he? Now, if one of the bosses is going to get eaten here, I would stop the race and try to let Pinstripe get past, but they are so far away that he wouldn't benefit from it at all. It'd probably end up hurting him because he'd probably get eaten. But he does have a point. He's about 5 points back from third, so there's really no hope in him getting to a podium, because this is the big race that he can gain quite a bit of ground on. There is, however, well, obviously you've noticed that we do race on the boss tracks, that the boss's home tracks. You can actually help if Pinstripe can do good. I've never had him actually score any points in Rue's tubes. So if he can score good points in Papu's Pyramid, and if you can, it's kind of random with this track. If you can slow the bosses down enough, and a few of them get crushed by the mine carts, and Pinstripe doesn't, and Pinstripe's lucky enough to dodge your the things that you're throwing back at him, or back to the other bosses. He can actually come out of here. The highest I've ever had him come out of here was 3rd, usually 4th, but it takes quite a bit of luck to actually make that happen. But if you can do that, and you're lucky enough not to hit Pinstripe during Rue's Hot Air Skyway, that's definitely the best. That's the best outcome for him to be able to finish on a podium. But if those circumstances don't fall exactly like that, there's no way he's going to get a podium. But it is looking kind of promising. He actually may finish in 2nd if I don't do anything to screw it up, which I'm sure I will. Or he may end up losing it here in a minute. If I can hurry up and get to the end before anything really bad happens. Well, I'm keeping Komodo Joe back, which is good. Komodo Joe won't score any points. He's not going to, well, I was going to say Ripperoo wasn't going to score that many points, only a 1. That really helps with Pinstripe. I mean, he's only has 1 point, but he's tied for 3rd. Of course, I guess with position placement, he's in 4th right now. He's not going to be on the podium, but that does help, definitely. Now, if I can help him get a good result here, that may. What he would have to do is he would have to get ahead of both Ripperoo and Komodo Joe. I'm not sure if he could actually end up winning. I'm not sure if it would help if he could get ahead of Papu. I don't think it would. What the? I've never seen them throw something over the gap before. It's new. Of course. And this is why you try and stay ahead of them enough so that Pinstripe doesn't suffer like he is right now. But maybe more than just Komodo Joe will. Oh, now I can't figure out who the leader is because the leader changed. Wow, that's wonderful. Of course, can't go outside the track. And I don't think Pinstripe's going to get a podium this time, but it was a good run. It just shows you how good he can do in Dragon Mines, a track that he's not. It's kind of iffy for him. Sometimes he can do good there, sometimes he can't. Was able to detonate that bowling bomb by him. Now, if I can remember his racing line going over the jump, I just might be able to help Pinstripe out by slowing him down enough. I think it was over here. That might be Papu's racing line, though. Okay. I'll probably end up being Pinstripes. Nope. Alright, that's good. That's BS. It shouldn't make me get hit because I was far enough away from it. Yeah, that's a shame. They are close. They are pretty close, but just not close enough, to be honest. Best I could do is probably get Ripperoo on the podium, but I'm not even sure if that could happen because Komodo Joe got a good enough lead over him that, oh, he actually got hit. Wow, okay, well. He would have to get ahead of Ripperoo. I don't think that will happen, but yeah, especially with Ripperoo coming in the second. Unless that can screw somebody up. And I may actually, if they don't get to the jump quick enough, I might actually watch and see. Alright, I'll tap the brakes. Won't be enough, though, because, well, it may be, but they were only 1 point ahead, so I don't think so. Yeah, okay. That's a shame by 2 points. And pretty much 1 point behind. I should have waited to see. Well, no, Ripperoo would have caught up to me by then, but I should have waited to see if Komodo Joe could have got past him. That would have tied them, but probably would have given it to Papu Papu because of the positions that he's finishing. Papu Papu finished higher than Pinstripe more frequently than that, but you can see there, Papu Papu for whatever reason is not on the podium. That is a glitch that sometimes will happen. I believe if Papu Papu finishes on the podium, I believe he's the only one that does it, but that will sometimes happen. Of course, the one time I don't need to go this way. But yeah, you know, there's not really a whole lot I could have done. I guess I could have waited, tried to focus on Papu Papu more, but I thought that there was no way Pinstripe could have gotten ahead because of the more top 2 finishes that he had. But anyway, so this is, I believe this is Turbo Track. Now the box placement for this one is definitely very bad. I wish they would have done it a little bit better. The biggest thing that you can help yourself out with is just to hit as many speed pads as possible. There are a few boxes that you can actually hit that will help you out, but if you don't hit them, there's really no point in doing so. That stack of boxes right there, you can actually get it all in one shot. I don't suggest doing it, but it is something that will happen if you have the super boost pads on. There is 2 laps I need to. Yeah, I think I might have messed it up. You have to be careful not to mess up any boxes along along the lines and all that. Just pretty much the same stuff Pretty much the same stuff we've been dealing with before, but it just makes it a little bit worse on this track. Now, the only real way to get around this section of the track is if you can try to use the brake slide and then a power slide to help yourself get around here a little bit easier. Of course, I missed all those. But if you do have the super boost pads on, you can actually benefit a lot more from it if you by having it on than not, just because there are so many turbo pads around here that you'll actually help boost. It'll help with increased boosts all the time. I don't even remember how many boost pads there are around here, but there are quite a few, and that definitely does come in handy while you're going around here. Of course, you want to try to stay on the inside of those turns as much as possible, but if you have to, you have to. You want to be careful not to hit that boost pad there. You do want to hit this one just because it will help you get to that one. You will have to swing quite wide around that corner, but it's worth it because that is a 3-second box. There we go. Sadly, I did miss one box, but the platinum time's okay. You know, it's 1 minute 19. This track and the next track that I'm going to do are actually 2 of the easiest platinums you can get at this point in the game. You know, these are supposed to be some of the harder levels. These are actually very easy to get the things for, the platinum relics for. Yeah, we're going to skip it. But trying to get all the boxes, that's the hard part for this track and for this track, Slide Coliseum. If you have someone that's really tight, like a Dingo or Tiny, you're going to have a very hard time going around this track by itself, just because, name Slide Coliseum, that there's a lot of turns here, and you have to be careful with the boxes. You can see that the ground kind of looks the same as Turbo Track, and the buildings on the outside look very similar to Tiny Arena. Even the music is the same as Tiny Arena. I just realized that. Box placement pretty bad here. You can see there are some shortcuts you can take by hopping over the turns, but it's not really It's not really that effective, to be honest. Well, the shortcuts are if you can hit them right. If you can get enough height that you can easily get over the tires, but not too much height that it actually ends up slowing you down, as you saw when I hit the first tire. So typically I won't actually go after a lot of the shortcuts, just because of that fact, because you have to hit them just right. But if there are time boxes around them and you can get all the time boxes, and I still think I can, I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to just try that. You can actually make quite a bit of time on it. I'm going to actually slow down for those two boxes back there once I get to them. But anyway, just you have to make sure that you have a good handling car going around here. I don't think I messed that up. I think I can still save myself from getting it. But the platinum time is okay here. I believe it's under a minute, but I mean, you can tell that I can easily get to it just by what I'm doing. Now, something that I haven't noted, that I haven't talked about, but you can actually get a bigger power slide boost if you wait to fill the gauge up. I think I might have mentioned it. Kind of wait just before it backfires. That's not really smart to do, but yeah, try to fill the boost gauge up as much as possible, and you'll get a bigger boost for it. Of course, that means you are sliding longer, so it may be better if you can just fire off a lot of quick ones. That might actually benefit you more than waiting for a long time. If you can hit it just as soon as it turns red, that might actually benefit you more. But you can see 140 for the platinum time, which is pretty good. So, and the boxes, there are a few that you may have to stop for. If you miss any of the jumps, over the tires or whatever, I would suggest not going after those, just because there's no reason to at all. Just because it would slow you down way too much for no reason. But it's entirely up to you. You do have 149, so it's really up to you which boxes you want to hit and all that, player preference and everything. But anyway, so we will fight Oxide.
So, you're back, and you've gathered all my time relics. I'm impressed. Well, it's about time I taught you a real lesson in speed. This race is from Capes.
Alright, so we do have to go back to his spaceship again. Sadly, they don't put you right by his spaceship for whatever reason. You don't have to worry about saving, I don't believe. I believe this is different from other Crash games, where if you fought the boss, or the boss the final time, it wouldn't hurt you. Like, you could just come back here and be able to save and all that. But I'm just gonna go ahead and save anyway, just for caution. I don't remember for sure, so I'm not gonna just assume that's what it is. All of these boss garages, by the way, do have a wall on the back of them. That's why you see me try to go into them easily. But that one, it's actually pretty fun to see, to fly up there pretty fast. You see in Oxide's final challenge. Now, this will actually be a lot harder just because he is actually faster. He will still throw the same amount of things. I think he might throw them a little bit faster though. They do sound to be flying out just a little bit faster. But if you have these speed boost pads, you know, you don't have anything to worry about. If you can just, you know, remember his racing line while going through everything. Just the middle, he will hit every single boost pad. He can fly, you know, he will hit on the middle of all of these boost pads and all that. So you don't have to worry about actually, you know, placing them in certain spots and all that. Just make sure you at least hit the boost pads, and you shouldn't have a problem with hitting him. And just make sure that you hit all of the boost pads that you can yourself, and you shouldn't have any trouble at all. And yeah, you know, it's pretty much just going to be a repeat of what I did the first time. I'm going to get really far ahead of him, and he's going to still ramble on about how slow I am and all that. Just, you know, he will also, you know, for sections where there are no boost pads and you want to go ahead and lay something down, like you've seen me do at least twice, at those sections you would want to just kind of lay it in the middle of the track. He will always go to the middle of the tracks, or, you know, of the track, so you can use that to your benefit as well, just to help yourself out. It definitely does work, you know, especially if you don't want to, if you're not sure which boost pads that he may hit, that will definitely help yourself out. But once you get to a certain point, whatever you lay down will start to blow up just because of all of the items that Oxide is actually laying down. So there's really no point in being strategic about where you lay your stuff down at, just because it really won't matter for, you know, for a large majority of it. You can already hear stuff breaking. I'm not sure if that's my stuff that I'm laying down or his stuff. It might be his stuff, but I can still hear stuff breaking pretty close to me, and the stuff that I'm laying down he's not hitting when he should, so that kind of tells me that he's already blowing stuff up, and you see where he is there. And remember, the only thing that will make him tumble is the blue shield, or any shield. It doesn't matter what color it is, blue or green, and I believe the masks will as well. I'm not 100% sure though if that will make him tumble as well. I've never actually hit him with a mask, but I would think it would, you know, because a shield is a lot harder. I don't understand why a shield would make him tumble. But maybe it's because it's harder to hit him with, you know, I really don't know. But anyway, you know, pretty easy boss fight, nothing too difficult with it. His losing animation will still be the same, so I will go ahead and skip that, just because we'll see it again during the credits. And so that's Oxide flying away in disgust, probably, at losing. And now, just like with Crash 1, we get to see like an epilogue. Crash sold his life story to a major movie studio. The film, entitled The Color Orange, will be releasing this holiday season. Crash can be found somewhere on a beach down under, doing what he does best. You do have to read these fast. You know, of course, you can pause it. I can't. Dancing and napping, so I do have to be fast while reading these. In Cortex went back to scientific research and discovered a new element in the periodic table. Numerous lawsuits failed to change the name he boldly chose for element 117. Cortex rules the worldium. That is actually pretty funny. Tiny Tiger moved to Beverly Hills and founded the popular chain of Pain and Gain fitness clubs. His Tiny Bow exercise video made millions of infomercials around the world. Coco went on to start her own internet dating service. Although her company is still in the red, share prices are going through the roof. Engine opened a custom auto parts store in Toledo, Ohio. The store closed after a massive recall when his patented clear-the-road missile system sparked havoc on the nation's freeways. Dingo Dial went on to found an animal breeding program for the creation of unique and interesting pets. His motto, "Combine them all," spurred such successes as the Gerbat, Kanga Rooster, and Dingo Rilla. Polar became the head taste tester for a leading ice cream company. A bold new flavors of cake for production included salmon, swirl, squishy squid sundae, and mackerel mint. Pura joined the Las Vegas Tiger Show of Ziegfeld and Floyd. His starring role came to a disastrous end one day when Pura accidentally closed his mouth a bit too early. Floyd will be sadly missed. Pinstripe became a used car salesman in New Jersey. As top salesman each month, he smirks. People decide on a car quickly once my Tommy gun comes out. Papu Papu joined the Wild Wrestling Association and changed his ring name to Mr. Bad Belly. His signature move, the Bad Belly Bounce, was finally banned by the WWA after 3 wrestlers of severe rope burns. Ripperoo was elected state governor to everyone's surprise. His slogan, "Crazy is as crazy does," created a groundswell of public support and even started whispers of a run for the presidency. Komodo Joe opened Honest Joe's wedding ring and rare gem outlet in Zurich. After a series of sting operations, Joe was convicted of laundering stolen cubic zirconias for the Couch Slouch Shopping Network. Entropy began tinkering with his time machine hobby again. He was last seen entering a time warp ball traveling to some ancient rainforest. Alas, rust is timeless. Nitrous Oxide went back to the planet Gasloxia, a broken alien. After years of therapy, Oxide emerged from seclusion to begin racing again. Unfortunately, the unicycle was a poor vehicle choice, and his resulting accident was too gruesome to detail here. Amy became a race car driver herself, saying, "I'm sick of giving out trophies, I want a few of my own." Isabella landed a bit part in the season finale of Bay Waters. Liz posed for Bandy Boy magazine, buying her dream Malibu mansion with the earnings. Megumi shortly unveiled her new line of perfume called Eau de Coute, featuring the alluring scent of fermenting wumpa fruit. And that just shows you what all the characters did after the events of the game. Of course, this is a spin-off game, so none of those are actually true. Now you can see here, this is a scrapbook that you actually get for... That's weird, I don't know what's... That's not my capture, by the way, that's actually my TV, for whatever reason, but... Well... That's weird. I can actually skip this, and there will be a scrapbook during the main menu, so I'll see if that actually fixes it. If not, I'll still show all this off anyway. I do apologize for this. But now, if you saw the confetti during the credits, that is the result of getting all of the relics, both gold or platinum. You know, you can have a mixture of both, but you have to make sure that there are no sapphires in your collection of relics. Just like with Crash 3, you got a gem. Well, in this game, you get 102%, well, I guess 101%, as well as I believe the scrapbook and the confetti. So something pretty cool. Since I did save it, I'll go ahead and take a look at the scrapbook just to see if it is working again. I don't know why it was acting weird like that. I don't know if it's like a glitch that happens sometimes or what. Really, the scrapbook didn't appear. That's actually interesting. Figured it would have. but I can fix that with a cheat code. I'll see if I can find it really quickly. Let me see. Well, we'll see this again. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see this again, but I guess you can look at the. I'll skip it and let you look at the demos and all that. While I'm sitting here trying to figure this out. Let's see. Okay. Alright, scrapbook. So what you would do is hold L1 and R1 and press up, up, down, right, right, left, right, triangle, right. And then the scrapbook appears. And I'll see if it's actually working this time. Like I said, I don't know why it was messing up. This is actually the first time it's actually done that to me before. Maybe it's a save file or something, I don't know. That's a shame though. But all this is artwork for early Crash. That's an early Tana. There was actually some controversy that happened with Tana back in the old Naughty Dog days. Well, during Crash 1, that I believe a sales manager for Universal Interactive Studios did not like the idea of Tana looking like that, saying that a woman or a female character who looked like that would never help a game sale. A few months after that, Tomb Raider, a widely popular game with a woman that looks very similar to that picture of Tana, very, very popular, came out, and I'm gonna guess she lost her job, but she gave Naughty Dog a lot of trouble with that, and that's one of the, and so they had to change her to what she is now and today. And that's just one of the many reasons, or that's just one of the many things that Universal Interactive Studios did to stop Naughty Dog from making games anymore, or making Crash games anymore. That's why they stopped making Crash games, was because of Universal Interactive Studios. It may have been other reasons, but that was a very large part of it. Pretty much the main factor. They may say, oh, well, it was these other reasons, but I've heard them say that it was pretty much Universal Interactive Studios' fault, just because they would give them so much trouble with paying them, just different things like that. You can find it online, just different things like that. The sales manager riding them with that like that. They wanted to throw in their own ideas. They threw out some artwork that Naughty Dog had made to sell the Crash games and put in their own that the Naughty Dog guys didn't like and that fans didn't really like. Well, then they tried to pin it on Naughty Dog. Just a whole bunch of different things, a lot of different things that they just kind of piled on, and I guess they got tired of it, and they quit, sadly. But it's good to still see them doing good today. With the Uncharted series, the newest game, The Last of Us, different games like that. But anyway, now that is Fake Crash. You do get to play as him. I will show all that off during the wrap-up video, just to save it for that kind of video. You can also race as Entropy. You don't see him during the regular. You don't see him during the main story of the game at all, but you will see him during the time trials. As you can race him and Oxide as a ghost. I will only show one race from for both of those characters, and I'll just do them all off screen, just for time reasons, so I don't fill up a whole video with that. Show you my times to beat them and everything, and well, I don't know. I doubt that I will, but I may actually show them off. it's kind of iffy whether I will or not, but you see, those are all the Crash games, their artwork in the Japanese Crash games. See the people that worked on the Crash games during Naughty Dog's days with it. I will definitely say this was pretty cool. Them putting the scrapbook in here, just showing off some of the different things about the concept art and everything for the Crash games, and showing all this kind of stuff off. And you can see everyone's what do you call that, autograph, or I said signature there on the on that last screen there. But anyway, so I'm going to talk about the two racetracks that Slide Coliseum and Turbo Track that we raced, that I raced at. I'll just keep that there so nothing happens. Excuse me. Slide Coliseum is the 17th race track in Crash Team Racing. It's in Tropy's home track. It's located in Gemstone Valley near the passage to Insanity Beach next to Turbo Track. It is a bonus track unlocked by earning 10 relics of any color. It has only a relic race available on Adventure Mode and also features in the Crash Cup and Arcade Mode. It is also the only racetrack with no turbos at all. Some people believe that this is the easiest Platinum relic to obtain in the game. Interestingly, both this track as well as Turbo Track share the same background music as Tiny Arena. Note, if playing against Oxide's Ghost during time trial mode, the Ghost will use the terrain near certain spare tire sections as ramps. This is only easily utilized if the player begins and maintains boosted speed. Yeah, that's definitely very hard to do with trying to do the Oxide Ghost here. But anyway, the relic times are Sapphire 155, Gold 145, and Platinum 140. So you definitely have quite, it's very, very easy for the Platinum relic. Well, I wouldn't say it is the easiest, but it is definitely one of the easiest. And Turbo Track is the 18th racetrack in Crash Team Racing, which, as the name suggests, has many turbos throughout. It is unlocked by completing all gym cups or by entering a cheat code, which is hold L1 and R1. Hit right, left, triangle, right, down at the main menu while, again, while holding the L1 R1 buttons. In Adventure Mode, only relic race is available. This track, as well as Slide Coliseum, both share the same background music as Tiny Arena. Trivia: if this player is skilled enough and breaks all the relic crates, you can make negative times along with Sewer Speedway. These are the only tracks where this is possible. This track looks very similar to the previous track, Slide Coliseum. This track features different speed pads than any other track that give more speed. That's interesting. For times, Sapphire 145, Gold 132, and Platinum 119. So that's all the trivia and everything. So I thank you for watching, because this did have relics in them. There won't be a challenge video. Next time I will do the wrap up video where I will show off some different things and talk about the trivia and everything for the game. So until then, later everyone.